and welcome to the Golden Hour and the Manifest to Live Life Golden podcast and YouTube show. I'm Golden Duffy, your host, and today we're talking about having fun with the law of attraction instead of making it this serious business that's taking you out of the joy of life. What happens when we get too serious, when we get in business mode, when we feel like we have to figure things out? We don't allow for our alignment with our spiritual side. We're in the thinking mind too much. We're in the logical mind too much. So we don't allow for the magic and the miracles to happen. We don't allow for the lightheartedness to happen that's going to actually put us in vibration with the fun, with the joy, with all the things that you are the truest essence of. So we're going to be talking a lot about the laws of the universe today, the science of the laws of the universe. You guys love a conversation about the laws of the universe. It's that logical mind that wants to be appeased. And that's why I love what I'm doing with this so much, because I take the science and I take the spirituality of manifestation and I marry them together in a way that allows you to be scientific, appease that logical mind, but not shut down your spiritual connection, not shut down the very being that you are by trying to be so logical, by trying to apply laws and to live your life scientifically, and then, discounting the spiritual side, the miracles, the magic, and all of that. So, it took me a few years to kind of get my bearings on this because I dove so deeply and so far into the science realm, which I really feel like I needed to do to have a strong foundation. But I kind of lost the spiritual side, and I was, really questioning. I've always been a very strong questioner on the spiritual side of things. When I was in religion, when I was Catholic and really immersed in the Catholic Church, it didn't make sense to me that God was playing puppet with my life. I didn't understand so many things. And I researched to attempt that. And I meditated very deeply to also understand it. And then I started to download and channel messages that I share on Facebook every day and Instagram. You can find my profile, Golden Duffy, or Live Life Golden at Instagram. So when we take these two pieces and we bring them together, understanding the laws from a spiritual perspective, we're going to become at our most powerful. So if you're just using the science, you've got a certain amount of power. If you're just using the spiritual, you have a certain amount of power. When you bring them together, that's when you really start to ramp up the energy field, because you have an understanding that goes beyond anything that you've been taught before, and it goes beyond the realm of the human experience. It goes into that spiritual, into that, into that place where all things are created from, right? That's what zero state awareness is. It's where everything is created from. So as you bring yourself, as you quiet your mind and get into that state of meditation, then you're going to be at your most powerful, because you're letting all the momentum go. That's the real case in meditation or quieting your mind practice. You're letting the momentum go. So I'm going to announce this. I haven't talked to my partner yet in M21 Revolution, but find us on Facebook, M21 Revolution. It's meditating for 21 days. It's a challenge. I'm going to launch one in March, whether she wants to do it or not. We kind of let each other do it when we feel inspired. And if the other person doesn't want to be a part of it, it's fine. But I'm going to launch that. So there's going to be 21 days of guided meditations. We do it donation based. So as long as I get enough donations to make the energy exchange make sense, I will be conducting that beginning March, I believe March 1st. But I will have a sign up link the next show so you guys can sign up and be a part of that. Because if you're not meditating, you really are, you're navigating at half power, because you're not in your strongest foundation of being powerful. The other piece of meditation that it really gives you is that emotional intelligence piece. So I was talking to my daughter yesterday, and we were talking about some law of attraction guy that she was listening to, who she said was aggressive and kind of angry. And I thought that was really interesting, but very successful, she said. And I found that really interesting because I was kind of wondering, what else is he creating in his life? Yes, maybe he's creating success through his programs and through his, his aggression with law of attraction. And she actually said that he was kind of talking down on some of the law of attraction people that I really think are legit. And I just said, I wonder where that anger and that aggression is showing up in his life, because vibration will always show up in your life. And she was saying that, he was saying that it's okay to have emotions. There's like this idea of toxic spirituality out there where we're supposed to be happy all the time. We're supposed to be joyful all the time and not pay attention to our emotions. And I would disagree wholeheartedly with that. I do truly believe, and I've shared this on the show many times before, that we need to look at our emotional states. We need to look at our wounds. We need to heal from those things, because if you're just pushing them down and pretending to be happy, you are still vibrating with those things. And that's why I've seen many people say, I'm trying to be positive, but underneath they really don't feel positive. And that's why their life is still full of chaos and things not working out for them. So we've got to get down to the nitty gritty of emotions. But I also said to her, I said, yes, there is this idea that we need to feel our feelings. I am a true believer in that. But then there's levels of consciousness that allow you to have the emotional intelligence to not allow your feelings to dictate what you are attracting. So let me explain. When you feel something, many times that feeling that you're having is coming from a perception or a belief that may be connected to something, usually, almost all the time, is connected to something in your past, or something that someone told you, or a wound that you get triggered, right? So those feelings and those perceptions will keep the vibration going. So if you have a belief, for instance, that everyone always abandons you, then you will attract people that will leave you out, and you'll feel left out a lot of the time. So until you get in touch with what that abandonment wound is, usually it's, elementary school or a biological family wound, until you get to the foundation of that and ask yourself, what is this teaching me? Why is this here? Why am I experiencing this? You're going to continue to vibrate with it and get evidence of it. Once you clear it, things don't trigger you and you've been healed. However, there's another piece to this that gets even deeper, and that is our addiction to emotions. Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about the addiction to emotions, and the fact that of the matter is that we have these chemical hormones and downloads that make us susceptible to certain emotions. So if you find yourself angry a lot, or if you find yourself in road rage a lot, those mechanisms are because you've got this vibrational feeling underneath that you're powerless, that people are against you, that the world is against you, whatever it is. So it's really important to get to those down deep belief systems and feelings so that you can clear them out and come out the other side and start deciding for yourself. So another piece of that is the spiritual side of this. So I'll give you an example of this, because this is really interesting. And I have a couple of children that this is kind of their mechanism in the world. And as a mother, probably, and as a, someone who knows so much about creating, I think the conversation with my daughter kind of spawned from me telling her she doesn't need to cry about everything, right? So she had called me recently. She had a crack in her windshield and it went all the way across the windshield. And she called her insurance company and they told her it was going to be $1,000 because that's the deductible. And I said, well, I don't think a windshield costs $1,000. So let's, back up. But she called me crying. And I didn't say stop crying. I just said, are you crying? And she said, yes. And I said, all right, honey, well, let's just look at this. Like, let's, we don't have enough information, first of all. You have a belief about this car that you can't afford it, that it's draining you, that you want to get rid of it. So the universe is going to give you more reasons to feel that way. So hello, crack windshield. So that's first of all. So that's something that we really need to clean up. Otherwise, you're going to keep having, oh, there goes my light. Cute. Otherwise, you're going to keep having these situations where you have to pay for things for this car that you're not excited about. So she agreed to that. And then, we came to the conclusion that we need to look at prices and find a price that is much more reasonable than what the insurance company gave her. And I talked her off the ledge and she was feeling better. Oftentimes when my kids call me crying, I'm just like, okay, do we need to cry about this? I kind of get a little impatient and I realize that's not helpful. And, that she's feeling like she needs her feelings validated. So the spiritual piece of that is that when you have something happen like that in your experience, when you have a windshield break or a flat tire or something happens to your car and it's going to be a big expense to fix it, it's looking at that and saying, okay, this is an invitation for me to learn something. It's an invitation for me to use my power. It's an invitation for me to show myself that even in less than optimal conditions, I am supported and loved, and I have divine forces that are in my favor. When you do that, things really work out for you. They kind of just break down the matter of the chaos and the, the worst case scenarios and all of that. It breaks it down and it brings it back to a spiritual, faithful place where you can pump a different signal into the universe, which is everything always works out for me. That's what faith is. It's trusting, it's believing, it's knowing that you have this non-physical support team to provide for you when things happen that are less than optimal. Now, it may feel powerless to you that things happen that are less than optimal, but if you could shift that perspective and start saying that when things happen that are less than optimal, it gives me an opportunity to find my power. Wow. Let me say that again. When things happen that are less than optimal, it gives me an opportunity to find my power, to discover my power, to unleash my power even more than it did before this happened. And that is a very powerful place. So I don't believe that things are happening randomly. I do believe that things are coming into your experience to help you clean things up, to help you really, really connect with where you are. If you're experiencing a lot of financial struggle right now, you're providing that for the universe. You're providing that signal. You're providing that vibration. You're feeling the lack. You're feeling loss. You're feeling, like abundance isn't for you, or you're feeling unworthy. So it's about dialing it back, really getting in touch with what are the belief systems underneath this, the vibration underneath it. All right. I promised you that we were going to get into some scientific law stuff because the logical mind just loves that. So we're going to do that right now. And we're also going to kind of go into the spiritual part of it. So the first law that we have is actually quite spiritual. And this could really help you with our world status right now, maybe, possibly, to give you a little different perspective on that. So it's the law of divine oneness, which basically says everyone and everything is connected. So that person that you don't like, that political figure that you can't stand, that musician that you think is crazy, all of those beings that are around you, that especially the ones that are really current and in your face in your world, they are all part of you. We are all part of this connected infinite stream of intelligence. And and you may think, well, some people aren't very intelligent. Well, it's just because they haven't gone in, they haven't done the work, they haven't connected with that higher state of consciousness. We all have the ability to connect with our higher state of consciousness. We all do. The challenge is for most people is they live from their logical mind. They say things that make sense to their logical mind, which may not be very helpful to you, which may not be very helpful to the world. And because of that, there's a disconnection with that state of consciousness where we are all one. And I really do believe we are in a state of our world right now where we are getting back to oneness, where separation is being stripped away. So if you're seeing an illusion that tells you we're more separate than we've ever been, it's an illusion. The truth is we are being connected more than ever before through our mass awakening that's happening. We're seeing things because we're ready to see them. The veil has been lifted. So in that spiritual connection of we are all divine oneness, that means that person that is annoying you is connected to the same stream that you are, and there's a message in that annoyance for you. So it's looking and seeing, okay, what is this annoyance teaching me? What about this person annoys me? Is there something within me that they're reflecting that's creating this annoyance for me, that's triggering annoyance for me? That is next level. That's higher states of consciousness of living, because then every single person that's put in your experience now becomes a teacher instead of you becoming a victim in their experience. Instead of them being the bully and you being the victim, you can look at that and say, all right, how are they showing me my power? If I am giving my power away to this person and I'm allowing them to annoy me, How am I being powerful right now? So what are they trying to teach me? How can I learn from this experience that at the surface level looked like they're bugging me, they're annoying me, and if they would just go away, I would feel better. That's the surface level. Let me dig a little deeper. Let me see where this foundation is, because the annoyance that I'm feeling from them is powerlessness within me that needs to be cleared. Okay, that's law of divine oneness. Scientifically speaking, the law of divine oneness, I would say, goes along with the cellular structure. So if you've ever looked into quantum physics, it's like a group of cells can influence another group of cells thousands of miles away just by thought, just by sending energy, like we feel energy from each other. So keep that in mind, because if you're gossiping, if you're throwing shade on someone, if you're hating someone, you're including that hate in your life, and that hate is being drawn to you as well. So if you're hating someone, you're hating yourself. That's the deeper, that's the scientific law right there. It really is. Okay, what you send out is what you get back. So keep that in mind. If you're hating right now on certain peoples or certain groups or certain, forums, you are creating hate in the world, and nothing good can ever come from that. So make peace with it. Find a way to make peace with it. Find a way to look at benefits. Find a way to find the advantages. Okay. Law of vibration. I love the law of vibration. Bob Proctor talks a lot about the law of vibration. I've been listening to his meditation, the abundance meditation. It's one of my favorite meditations. It's on YouTube. I napitate to it every day. Sometimes I do it twice. I love it. It relaxes me. It was the meditation that I believe helped me to get to California, because it's got the ocean waves, and he says some really great things. But the law of vibration, that means that everything is energy. Everything around you has an energetic conduction. Because of that, because everything has an energetic conduction, everything in your experience is because of the signal that you're sending to it, right? So let's say, I don't know why this just popped up. Let's say your house is a mess, right? Like it's really chaotic. What is that doing to your vibration? Where is your vibration at if you were allowing your space to be cluttered and full of energy? You don't even realize, I've shared this before, I love to share this. You don't even realize the detriment to your vibration from having a messy, cluttered space. We always, all of us, I don't care who you are, always feels better when things are clean and orderly. It's the nature of our beings to feel better when things are in their place, when we can find things, when things don't feel chaotic. They say that your home is a representation of your mind. So if your house is super messy, you probably got a super messy mind. And I have evidence of this. I have a daughter who went through a really hard time mentally, eating disorder, really, really, really big spiritual awakening, actually, but really hard time in her life. Her room was a disaster. I have pictures. It was epic, epically disastrous. And now her room is spotless, full of crystals and, beautiful energy. And it's always really orderly, because that's her mind. She worked on herself spiritually. She awakened and got to the point where she understands that feng shui, that having a clutterless life actually helps her to function better. And I believe every single person on this earth would function better if their space was not cluttered. Don't know who that was for, but it's coming through. So law of vibration is the signal you're sending. It's the vibration. It's how you're feeling. It's your state, your mood. You're pissed off. You're gonna create situations to be more pissed off. You're grateful. You can always reach for gratitude. Always. You can always reach for gratitude. In fact, if you're in a state of kind of like misery or lack with what you're looking to manifest, you've got to change that vibration and start getting excited for what comes next. Start looking and being like, oh, I am a powerful creator. So I can create this just by speaking it into being, just by feeling like it's coming. The feeling is the manifestation. So if I feel like, you know, I am abundant and like great things are coming, soon enough, you're going to see evidence of it. But the trick is to respond as an abundant person when things come to you. I don't think the universe tests us, but what I do believe scientifically, here's science for you. When we have momentum going, this wave is behind me. When we have momentum going, right, in this wave, it takes a little time for that momentum to die down and a new wave to surface, right? There's always time between the sets of waves. So we need to let that wave break down. It's still going to become particle and matter, right? So whatever that lack, that brokenness, however you were feeling, the abandonment, whatever you were feeling, it's got to break down. It's still got to become matter. You still have to get evidence of it. But then your response is what's going to call that next wave in that's going to create something new. Oh, that was good. That was really good. So that's the science piece of it. Okay. Moving on, I love the laws of law of correspondence. This is one of my favorite laws. What you feel is what you see. So law of correspondence, I feel like this is so cool. Remember a long time ago, or maybe you're too young for this and maybe you never did this, but when I was younger, we had pen pals. I actually had a cousin who was a pen pal, and at school we had random pen pals that lived in different places in the country. And do not recollect any of these letters, but I did write letters to my cousins who lived a couple of towns away. We would see each other every week, but we were, writing pen pals and could talk about our lives. This was, before social media, before we were constantly putting our lives out there. The law of correspondence is connection, right? Think about it. When you write a letter to someone, you are looking to connect to them kind of in a deep way, because when we write, it's the strongest form of focus. And when we write, we put ourselves kind of in a channeled space, right? We kind of let the energy flow through us. I do it every day in my posts, and every day a message comes through. It blows my mind. When you write, you are basically kind of turning off your mind and you're getting into a more creative space. That creative space is driven by your higher states of consciousness. It's been known as the flow zone. It's been known as, being in the zone, as an athlete will experience being in the zone. So when you write, you do that. So writing is connection. Think about that. Okay. So when you set intentions, when you write down things that you're looking to experience, and you do it from the present tense, right? I am so grateful for all of this that's happening. I shared last week, I am waking up feeling terrific. Tomorrow is the greatest day that I could ever experience. Putting those intentions out there, writing them down is even stronger because it's connection. So think about this. You are always corresponding with the universe. You are creating with the universe all the time. God, source, whatever you want to call it. And that creation begins by how you feel. It's your state. It's your mood. It's how you perceive and judge things, right? This is why when somebody has a car accident and there's two people that saw it, will have seen it in a different way because of the vibration that they're on. So keep that in mind, because your perceptions are actually creating what you see. So if you don't want to perceive something as a friend who forgot to text you and invite you out, if you don't want to feel like you're being abandoned, you can't perceive it as abandonment. You have to look at it and say, oh, they were just going with the flow and they got busy and it didn't cross their mind. I wasn't meant to be with them. That's a wonderful way to say it. Or I love to say, we weren't vibrationally aligned. Because if you were vibrationally aligned, they would have texted you. And that's no diss on you, and that's no diss on them. You're not matching up. And when you stop taking those things so personally, that's when the abandonment can actually heal. And you can move to another space in your life where you find the love and the support and the energy of wonderful people. Okay? All right. That is law of correspondence. Think about it. Also, I always love this analogy, is putting your order in with Amazon. And we put an order in with Amazon. I live in California, and it's one of the most mystifying things that I can order something in the morning and it can be on my doorstep the same day. We have warehouses out here, so it's pretty spectacular, to the point where when we order things and it takes a week or two, we get suspicious, right? That's where we're at. You don't go and look throughout the day and say, oh, maybe you do. Sometimes we check where our order is, right? When it's coming. But for the most part, we just trust, right? We put our order in with Amazon and we trust that it's going to be on our doorstep within the next 24 hours. When it comes to the universe, when you put your order in, the part that trips you up and trips up the delivery of your manifestation is that you question it and you feel the lack of it and you wonder where it is and you feel miserable because you don't have it yet. Those are all the things that actually slow the energy down and kind of halt the manifestation process. It doesn't stop it completely. Eventually things manifest, yes, and they'll manifest in the face of fear and they'll manifest in the face of resistance. They absolutely will, because the miracles are stronger than your fears. And the universe, source, God, whatever you want to call it, is conspiring in such a way that wants you always to do good, always wants everything to turn to good for you. That is the essence of this human condition, is for things to turn to good. Now, you may sit there and go, okay, I've seen plenty of stuff not turning to good. I've seen people die. I've seen people get terminal illnesses. I've seen people get in terrible accidents. All of those things are invitations for us to learn and to grow and to become more. And you can look at all of your tragedies and all of your traumas, and you can see how, if you're in this space, spiritually speaking, how all of those things led you to something more, led you to clarification about your desire. So if you're in this very negative space and pessimistic and you're not seeing a lot of good things happen for yourself, there's a very direct scientific and spiritual reason for that. You're taking life for granted. You're not feeling gratitude. You're looking at all the things that are wrong. These are all the things that law of attraction and the spiritual part of law of attraction will deliver more to you about what you're feeling, the state you're in, and what you're believing than anything else. Ooh, that was a mouthful. Okay. All right. Next law, law of attraction. You get what you focus upon. So you create your own reality. How cool is that? That's why I'm like, guys, watch your TikToks, watch your Instagram reels, watch your Facebook, watch what kind of information you're ingesting, because what you focus on expands. The reality that you are living is because of the information that you're taking in and the perception and judgment you're making about it. So if you look at the world and it's pissing you off, you got to dial it back. You got to dial and tune into a different frequency. That's the only way to come through that, to come away from that, to actually dial your life experience into a higher vibration. You've got to turn off the news. You got to turn it off, man. There's no truth there. There's nothing that's going to create any kind of joy or happiness or lightheartedness for you, right? This show's supposed to be about fun. The news does not equal fun. Your Instagram reels and your TikTok reels that send you down rabbit holes of conspiracy theories and the world is ending and all of that does not help you. It does not raise your vibe. Oh, but I need to be informed. Informed about what? Wouldn't you rather be informed about the truth you want to live instead of the truth that some agenda wants you to believe? There is a very strong agenda and keeping you powerless and keeping you in fear and keeping you in anger, because all of that controls you. And you don't want to be controlled. You want to control your vibration. You want to control your emotions. You want to become emotionally intelligent, and you want to put out into the world what you are interested in attracting. So that vibration is so important. That attraction foundation is so important. And to get spiritually deeper on this, the law of attraction, I kind of shared a little bit in the beginning that if you're emotionally, underneath all of your happy-go-lucky, pretending to be happy and pretending to smile, if you're not feeling, and you know what, there's a good indication that you can really know how you feel when somebody asks you how you are. If you say, okay, if you say, fine, you can feel it, right? But if somebody asks you how you are and you say, I am fantastic, I'm great, I'm terrific. Terrific is my new favorite. I am terrific. I feel fabulous. How are you? I am fabulous. Feel my energy. My energy raises with each word, not because I'm faking it or trying. It's because the foundation is already there. I woke up feeling fantastic today. And let me just tell you, my cats woke me up at 3 a.m., 3:10 a.m. My alarm goes off at 4:10 a.m. I fell back to sleep 5 minutes before my alarm. I very easily could have gotten out of bed annoyed. Very easily. These cats, what do they need at 3 a.m.? And this was my cat, who's usually very, very respectful, was banging on my door at 3 a.m. Then the next one came in at 3:30, jumped on me, laid on me. Can't really fall asleep like that, right? So it would have been very easy. But instead, I was like, all right, I'm getting up. I'm getting up. I'm going to go work out. I'm going to do the things that make me feel good. I'm going to listen to good music. I'm going to roll my body out. Something that I shared on Facebook story or my Instagram story. I have these long rollers at the gym. They're made out of like styrofoam or some kind of foamy material. And I've been rolling my body out, and holy cow, is that a game changer. I have like no soreness from working out, and I've been really like heavy lifting and I did a really tough workout, leg workout yesterday, and rolled, and I had no pain or soreness this morning. So it's just like, it's calming my nerves down. It's calming my nervous system down, and it's rolling out all that lactic acid. Good stuff. So I'm doing all the things. And then I came home and I had my delicious cup of coffee that I warmed up, and spent some time with my husband, loving on him before he leaves for the day. And we've got some exciting stuff going on this afternoon that we're both really pumped about. Like the next couple of days I'll be able to share soon are just going to be, I feel, life changers. We've just had some really cool manifestations that I cannot wait to share. But I have to see how it all transpires, because I tend to get a little overexcited, which doesn't always help you, because overexcitement can lead to over disappointments, and we don't want to go there. So we want to create a little bit of neutrality where we get excited, because excitement is your vibration, but we don't go crazy and think that everything is going to be like the most epic thing that's ever happened. You kind of get a little more intelligent or a little more mature in your manifesting, where you kind of just sit back and you're like, okay, I'm going to watch the energy here. I'm not going to lose my mind, so that I don't have to reel myself back in if it doesn't go to the extreme of what I was expecting or what I was wanting. Everything is always leading you to something else, which is really good news. So doing the things. So then I came home and I meditated, had this incredible 12-minute meditation, because that was the time I had this morning, and then hopped in the shower, got on the show, feeling really pumped, really excited, and just really grateful for life, because that's the foundation I've created through doing these, processes every day and getting myself in alignment in the best possible way, self-care and being creative. I'm being super creative right now, writing a romance novel. Can't wait to share that one. It's coming soon. I've actually got 2 books right now that are not super close to being done, but they'll be done in the next couple months. Actually, on that note, let me just share my books, because I realized that my journal is very hard to find on Amazon. Thank you very much. I have to call Amazon and find out why this is, but you can't even search it. I'm not sure why that is. But this book, that I actually caught a review on this book, Mindful Manifestations Daily Secrets, Daily Guide and Journal. If you go to the QR code on the top of my screen right there and you just roll over it, it's going to give you the link to directly order this. I just got an incredible review on this. So read the review. There's only 2 reviews, but the one review I was like, wow. And my daughter just read this and she was like blown away. It's also available at Experience Divine Vibes in Laguna Beach. So if you want to go, if you're local and you want to buy it, you can go there and buy it and meet my daughters. They both work there. So this is the journal QR code. This is a hardcover book. It's absolutely beautiful. And it has tons of writing prompts and journal pages. Let me find that. The writing prompts are at the top. So it'll give you a really good guide to forgiveness, to living your life in a high vibration, to getting that foundation of your vibration in a powerful place every day. This book will do it, because it's your daily guide. All right. And then we have Mindful Manifestation Secrets. That's my first book that I wrote, which is the science of creating. There's some spirituality stuff in here, but the science of creating. And it's our journey from moving from Connecticut to California, all the miracles that happen. The link is up there. You can just scroll over that and you can find this on Amazon. This one you can find if you search it. They haven't buried this one, but right there is the QR code in the top. I don't know how to point. There it is at the top of your screen. Follow my thumb if you're watching. Oh my goodness, this is weird. Okay. Mindful Manifestation Secrets. It's a super short read, but powerful, packed with information. And then The Unfolding Soul, I don't have that up here, but it is a beautiful cover book. It actually has this wave in the background. This is the spiritual side of manifesting and messages that came through my dreams. This is a deeply channeled book. All my books are channeled, by the way. I sit down, a stream of consciousness comes, and I just type. So often I read back and I'm like, where did that come from? It's like not my words. It's amazing. On The Perfect Expansion for the Unfolding of Your Soul. You can get that. The link is up there. The link is up there. Why is this so weird? There it is. There it is. Okay. Left side of the screen, I think, for me. Maybe the right for you. Just scroll over it. You can find it. I also think you can search that one on Amazon. And then one that is like been buried and has, I don't think any reviews on it, is Quantum Speak for Parents. And this is a great book on parenting. It's energetic parenting. It has a little chapter about taking care of an elderly parent. Really good if you want to energetically parent your children. You know, some of the chapters in here are, I got pictures of my cute little kids. Strong-willed children, how to deal with strong-willed children. The science, families who help one another, you know, teamwork, training your focus, opening the lines of communication. This is a game changer, this book, you guys. It really is. It was the do's and don'ts of parenting for me. It was my study of law of attraction and parenting and how incredible it worked in my relationships with my girls. And I will tell you, 4 daughters, ranging in age from 32 to 21, my relationships with them are pristine. We adore each other. We are there for each other. We support each other. And there's no, you know, I don't get mad at them. It's so great. And they don't get mad at me. And that really helps with communication and just having an easier life experience when you have parents and kids that are one team, one dream, right? Okay. So that's the parenting book. So those are my 4 books on Amazon. And then the last thing I'll just share is my support for the show, which I just started, which is Buy Me a Cup of Coffee. There's a $5, a $20, and $100 a month donations. This is about tithing, exchange of energy. If you're really benefiting from the show, this is a way to support the show. And it's a way to keep it from being commercialized. So I don't have to put commercials up because I do pay for my studio time and it would be helpful. I've been doing this for free for a long time and I have almost 200 episodes here. So you can go back, you can listen to them again. I highly recommend listening to them over and over again because you want to retrain the pathways in your mind. You want to retrain that brain because your neural pathways are set up for a certain condition. They're set up from the programming that you experienced as a child, the wounds that you've experienced as you've gone through your life, and you want to change the programming. You want to feel like you have control over your thoughts, beliefs, feelings, judgments, perceptions, and the signal that you're sending in the world. And supporting the show is an incredible way to do it. There's an energy exchange here. There's actually an up level in your energy field because I do share the science and the spirituality. And I am creating a very high vibration, energetic space for you to put yourself in whenever you see fit. Okay. All right. Enough of the sales job. Okay. Let's get back to the science. This is fun. I just love science. I never did as a kid. I really wasn't into science. I think I liked earth science. I was really more into law. I really liked law. Interesting that I teach universal law. But as I got older and I started to realize that the science really does create in your life and knowing about it puts you in a very powerful place. I got really excited about it and started studying it at a very deep level. Okay. Law of inspired action. This may be one of the most, next to law of attraction, this may want to be one of the most important laws. So many people believe that manifesting is sitting in your house and thinking about something. And yes, your thoughts are very powerful, but until you put inspired action into place, this wave doesn't get really strong in its conduction. It kind of falls flat on the shore. So if you really want to get a strong conduction, inspired action is everything. And I can't wait to share what's going on with us, because there was inspired action that happened with that. There was intention setting that actually put this miracle of manifestation in our place. And there's more and more things that have been happening since. So where can you act? Getting back to the law of attraction and law of inspired action, the idea, the deeper seed to this, the spiritual seed to this, is you must become the identity of what you're looking to create. So how do you do that? How do you become a wealthy person if you don't know what a wealthy person is like? Well, you can look at them, you can study them, you can ask yourself, how would I feel if money wasn't an object? What would I do? How would I dress? How would I feel every day if I got out of bed and knew that my bills were paid and I have extra? How would I feel? How would I conduct myself? Becoming the identity of who you say you want to be is the strongest way and the fastest way to create manifestation in your life. So if it's a really beautiful, peaceful, loving relationship that you're after, let's say you're in a relationship and it doesn't give you evidence of that, what are you giving to it? What kind of energy are you sending to your partner? What kind of energy are you sending to yourself? Are you accepting a lot of disrespect and your boundaries are being trampled on? So that is a really important component. If you're alone and you're looking to manifest that relationship, and you're lonely and you're sitting at home watching Netflix all the time and you're sad and you're eating ice cream and you're overweight and you're hating yourself, you're not going to be in the identity of someone who finds this powerful, incredible, fun, inspired love. You must become that which you seek. Okay. So that's the spiritual side of law of attraction and the spiritual side of law of inspired action. If I was going to go with my intuition, if I was going to go with my inspiration, if I was going to set my intention, what would that look like in the action world? You have to have some sort of induction, conduction of the energy field. And that's where inspired action comes in. What can I do to give that wink to the universe? What can I do to get serious with that whatever you believe in? Get serious and say, I'm serious. I'm doing this. Sometimes it's taking something away. Sometimes it's stopping doing something. Sometimes it's quitting something, right? Quitting a job, quitting a bad habit, showing that you're actually serious so you can gain clarity. Quit those bad habits so you can gain clarity. Quit putting substances in your body that are making you sick or dull or, not clear. Do that for a little while. Oh, I love this one. This is also one of my favorites because I love saying it. Law of perpetual transmutation of energy. That is, everything is always moving and changing. That's why you have the ability to change things now. You have the ability. Your future is now. You are conducting from now, and that is deciding what's coming next. So the way you feel right now really matters. The fact that everything is changing and moving, you can see it in nature, right? Plants are always growing and dying and replenishing. The sun is always rising every day and setting every night. The moon has all these different phases. It's always changing. You are the same way. The tides change. Everything around you is always moving and always changing. If you are waking up every day and you're feeling like this is Groundhog Day, you're the culprit. You have to do something different. Just taking a different drive on your way to work would spawn something different. It would create something different. Just calling someone you've been wanting to talk to that's uplifting, that's fun, that's lighthearted, changes your day, completely transforms your day. Just eating healthier, alive foods will make you feel different. Just going for a 10 to 20-minute walk creates amazing things in your body. Going and sitting in a sauna. There's so many different things that you can do to change your vibration and to change the way that you feel. And it doesn't matter, really hear me on this. It doesn't matter if you feel like it. You're probably not going to feel like it. You're probably never going to wake up and feel like exercising unless you love exercise. You're probably not going to feel like it. You're probably not going to feel like going for that walk. I am a little challenged by the walk right now. It's a little chilly out for me. And going for that afternoon walk or going into nature, my husband and I actually went out on Sunday for a little nature walk in the canyon that I went to every single day for like 6 months. And then winter happened and I stopped going. It's like 40. And I know you guys are in much colder. Some of you are in much colder areas, but 40 in California is like 9 in anywhere else. I'm serious. But I don't like feeling like my fingers are numb or my face hurts. I just don't like feeling that. So I kind of stopped walking in the morning and we went on Sunday and I'm like, nature. That's what's been missing. The nature for me, the walks outside, the fresh air, the birds. We saw so much wildlife. It was so fun. We saw 5 roadrunners. We saw a coyote stretch in the coolest way. He had his arms out like this. Reminding me of my kitty cat. We saw 12 quail. We saw a hawk. We saw a turkey vulture. We saw some really cool stuff. And to me, that's magic in life. It's the signs in life. It's where we get to co-create. It's where we get to connect with something that's other than electronics or TV or distraction. Like distraction. There's a lot of distraction, right? So everything is always moving and always changing. And that's why you're not stuck. You're not stuck. So stop letting your I don't feel like it dictate what you do. Just be like, you know what? I don't feel like it. I'm going to do it anyway. You know what? Yesterday, I'm trying to break up with sugar again. Good Lord. Sometimes I get a gummy bear thing going on. I don't know what's happening, but I got to put an end to it. So I'm like, what if I didn't today? What if I didn't buy gummy bears today? I'm going to be better for it. I'm going to break that habit because I can do that because I have free will because I get to choose. All right, let's see which one. Oh, okay. Law of compensation. You must contribute in some way towards your goal. So law of contribution, this is what I was talking about in that little QR code that's over there. I'm going to leave that QR code up to support the show. You go there and it'll bring you to the link to support the show. Law of compensation. So it's knowing that we are in this co-creative universe, right? I do this with artists, with musicians that I love. You all know I love the Elevators. They're my favorite band, my favorite people. I love them so much. So I buy merch from them. I buy concert tickets. I always get the VIP. I contribute to their page every day. If you want to have a cool elevating page, the Elevators page is really cool. It's called the Elevators. That's my exchange of value for the incredible music and vibration they have brought into my life. I listen to their music. It gives me an absolute uptick, especially after seeing live music, after you've seen a live concert, or like we've even been talking about our vacation in St. Croix. Like we all can still feel it. If I close my eyes, I can still see it. If I listen to certain music, I'm back there. That is raising your vibration through experiences and then being able to draw from those experiences to move forward with them. So the law of compensation says there's an even exchange in the energy field. If you have people in your life that are constantly taking from you and there's no exchange of value, they don't offer you joy, they don't offer you laughter, they don't offer you lightheartedness, they don't offer you, they never do anything for you, they're always asking of you, they're always dumping on you. You're out of balance. So law of compensation says I will always be compensated. And that's one of the reasons why I have not been super salesy on my show before or, have done commercials, because I believe even in my posting every single day, I have this really great person who always says that I'm like selfless and honestly, it's not about being selfless posting every day. It comes through me and I would feel like I was doing a disservice if I didn't share it. But the idea of compensation is I know that the vibration I put out into the world, that the difference that I make in people's lives is currency. So it's currency and it's always coming back to me. And my life has become incredibly abundant the last couple of years without me selling anything or working really hard or trying to make money. It's become way more abundant than when I was trying so hard. When I was, group coaching and doing all those things, it's become way more abundant. Did it come through the avenues I thought it would? No. It's come in really cool other ways. So if you want to connect with that, the law of compensation is important. If you are always taking from the universe, if you are always asking people for money, if you're always asking people for advice, if you're always taking from your relationships, there's an imbalance. Then the universe has to take from you in some way, shape, or form. So that could be why you get a broken windshield. That could be why you spill your coffee. There's ways that, you have to balance this out. So if you take, you have to have that give and take relationship in all of your relationships. What can I give? How can I be a giver today? How can I give back from this incredible gratitude of this wonderful life I live? If you've got a roof over your head, if you've got a car in your driveway, if you've got laundry facilities, God, for years I lived without laundry facilities when my kids were little. I still feel really great when I throw a load of laundry in because I don't have to take it to the laundromat with two little babies. That experience stayed with me and allows me to be more grateful. If you can put a full tank of gas in your car without having to look at your bank account, you're killing it. You're killing it right now. Okay. So have an even energy exchange. That is super important when it comes to abundance, when it comes to a wonderful, I always think of that like infinity sign. Things are balanced and they're beautiful and they're flowing, money in, money out. I heard a thing the other day, don't ever say you're spending money, say you're circulating money. My husband has always said that. He always says he circulates money and I circulate dirt in the house. Circulate. I'm circulating money. I'm believing, I'm trusting, I'm having faith that it's coming back. And it does. It does. When you stop holding on so tight, when you're not so nervous, when you're not so fearful, it does. It's that spiritual perspective when it comes to abundance of knowing that you are always supported. It's looking at those birds outside and saying they're always supported. They're always taken care of. They survive. I survive. It always works out for me, right? That's the spiritual perspective. All right, let me just see if there's any more laws I want to share. This was really fun. Ooh, I like this one. The law of rhythm. I don't think I've ever shared this one before, but I really like it. Our inner rhythm will speed up and slow down. Stop and listen carefully within. So the spiritual side of this is about allowing and receiving, right? So it's knowing when to act. It's watching the energy field, the law of rhythm. I really love that. Am I in the rhythm? Am I in the ease and flow? Am I pushing too hard? Am I too desperate? Am I trying? Am I creating hard in my experience? Am I struggling all the time? How can I back up? How can I get in the mode of receiving and allowing? You got to relax more. You got to allow more. You got to quiet your mind more. The law of rhythm says life is about ease and flow. It's not about being on the current of life and, paddling upstream. It's about letting the current take you. It's watching that energy because the energy will show you where to go. There's a really cool saying. It's called the path of least resistance. Where is my path of least resistance? Because that's the path that's lit up. It's not about being lazy. It's not about taking the easy way in life. We've all been so programmed that ease is laziness, right? And we're never going to get anywhere being lazy. I do agree with that. I do believe there's inspired action that needs to happen. I do believe that there is, lazy focus or lazy sloppy thinking is not going to get you anywhere. You got to be determined. You got to focus. The hard work is, what am I focused on? Because what I focus on expands. That's the hard work. That's where the rub is. So, the law of rhythm. I love that. Am I in rhythm? Am I flowing with this universe or am I fighting against it? Am I annoyed? Am I frustrated? All that like slows the energy down, right? It's like trying to go in two different directions when you're doing that. So you're focused too much on what you don't want to happen. So you're creating an energy field of angst. When you're focused on what you want to happen, the law of rhythm is in place and it will show you the path and it will be easy to follow. Life is not supposed to be hard. I know we were taught that it is, but it doesn't have to be. There's a way to navigate this. I read something the other day and it was kind of all about how life is relentless I say that all the time. It's going to keep coming at you. And it was just it was kind of a negative connotation, but also had positives in there about the spiritual lessons and the things that we learn. And I looked at it and I thought, this is the way most people live. They live fighting against life. And there's such an easier way to navigate it. When you know these universal truths, when you apply them, when you get into your spiritual higher states of consciousness and you follow your guidance, it's so much easier. It's so much easier. And that's why I come on here every day and every week and just share every day on my post for sure, because I truly believe in these laws. So I've truly seen a lot of evidence, thousands of stories I could tell you, mine and other people's, of applying this wisdom, applying these universal truths, and putting yourself in a spiritual place where you can manifest through faith, through trust, through love, through gratitude, through knowing that you are the most powerful creator and you are here to create the most epic experience that is fun and lighthearted and full of joy. Find more ways to be that way. Find more ways to feel joy. Find more ways to feel lighthearted. Activate that energy, that belief system. Jump out of bed in the morning. I highly recommend it. I have to because my cat is usually banging on my door. Jump out of bed in the morning. Greet the day feeling terrific and putting out a terrific vibration so more terrific things can find you. All right, guys, that's my show for today. I love you all. Please support the show. It really does help me. I would really appreciate it. And I love you all. Peace.